Welcome to Redditman, your daily dose of advice, and today's not so unpopular opinion is girls that think they shouldn't have to pay for anything in a relationship don't belong in a relationship. I think the person who pays for the meal should be the same person who asked for the date. I agree with this. You're inviting someone out, so you should cover them. On the flip side, the receiving end should not pick something expensive. When I was dating, I always ordered the cheapest or second cheapest food item. It's interesting because almost 100% of the guys I dated insisted on paying and wouldn't let me pay. However, if I didn't like the guy after the date and couldn't imagine going on a second date, then I would insist on paying my share. I didn't want them to hold it over me. You see, guys, so if she insists on paying her share, that means she doesn't like you and is ready to move on. I have yet to have a woman ask me on a date. Well, I have yet to have a man ask me on a date. It works both ways. Yeah, I guess my point is that it's not the social norm. Women typically don't pursue men. But that's the thing. It's the age of Tinder and online dating. Dating has joined all things postmodern at this point, and it's very rare to get approached and asked out. It's not just me. Most of the women in my circle and my sister get asked out very rarely. Of course, I do live in a very urban setting, but you're right. Men are traditionally the seekers. The issue with this is that it is mostly expected that men ask women out and take the lead on planning dates. So it's just another way of saying that you think men should pay for dates with more steps. I think they're actually saying if you invite someone to dinner, then it's nice to pay, because that's literally what they said. That's not what I was saying. Women ask men out almost as much as men ask women out. No, they effing don't. And you know that. You just said that to say you're right. I have been asked by a woman to a date once, and I have never heard or seen a woman asking out a man except in fiction and online. So only in stories, people. What world do you live in where you think that women approaching men happens all the time? I think that girls who want men to pay should find a man who doesn't mind doing that. Girls who offer to pay should find men who doesn't mind splitting the bill. Some are traditional and some are modern. Just find out who's who and get with them. It's that easy, folks. Honestly, it bugs me when girls say that shit. I don't like it when they're only traditional, when it works for her and not for anyone else. It can only work for her, and that's why it isn't fair for relationships. Would you say the same about someone complaining about some common men's sexist dating expectations? Just don't date them. They aren't hurting anybody. Absolutely. Though it obviously depends on the situation. Expectations that have to do with the first few dates aren't much of an issue, as you can break that off easily. Expectations in marriages or living situations are more difficult and potentially damaging. Yes, there are literally women who are fine being treated as an object. You heard it here first, folks. Let them do their thing. Except you don't know what they're like until you date them. Not until the first date, anyway. Then your advice of, well, then don't date them, not hard, falls flat on its face. How are we to know? I'm not going to grill my date or ask them about splitting the bill before I even meet them. That just screams, I'm cheap. Then don't have another date. Is the $25 bill at the Olive Garden really gonna kill you? If they're like the women that OP is talking about and posting this on their social media, then you already know. Any woman who is interested in splitting the bill would be perfectly fine discussing the matter beforehand. If she thinks you're cheap because you brought up splitting the bill, then she probably wasn't going to in the first place, and you can just not have a date. Think a little harder. then don't have another date. I think you finally got it. Gonna get downvoted for this, but gold diggers effing suck. Thanks for listening, guys. Let me know what you think about this issue. Do you think both the guy and the gal should go 50-50? And what have been your experiences with dating and pain? Thanks for listening. Please share with your friends and like and subscribe.